In this particular video, you're going to be learning how to sew a placard in another way. First, you get your front pattern, you divide it into two. Make sure you hold it at the nape of the neck and divide it into two. After dividing it into two, you use your pressing iron and iron it out so that at that nape of the neck, you have the center front line. You iron it out. When you've pressed it out with pressing iron, you then measure. You then take your flap, that's your placard, which is about 4.5 inch to 7.5 inch wide. You make sure the placard as well is being interfaced. I'm using a different color placard here. I'm using a red color placard. So what you now do is that you fold the placard not into two. You fold 1/3 of it, which is 1.5 inches. You fold it and press it. You have a crease line. If you've gotten a crease line, you are going to be marking. You are going to be marking the center. That's that crease line. You're going to be marking 6 inches downward. So if you mark 6 inches, that's going to be the depth of the placard. You will also go to the nape of the neck, that's the center front. You mark that is being folded. You mark half an inch and up an inch, and also mark up the nape of the neck and mark the depth, which is 6 inches. Then you connect the half an inch together, so you have this line that you draw. So this line is going to be the opening, and it's going to be a little bit sided so that later it will be centralized. So you carry these the placard that you cut, placed it on top. That crease line that you got, you make sure it's correspond with the chalk marking that I just make. So you do something like this. So you are going to take it to your sewing machine and sew around that crease line. You're going to sew about 3/8 inch around that crease line. You sew it downward till you get to the depth, the placard depth. Then you pivot your needle. You pivot your needle at that depth and turn the other way. Make sure that your needle is down. Then you are going to have a sharp edge. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. You're going to see the way I sew it. I just make sure that the crease line on the placard correspond with that chalk line. So the smaller part is on the left side, while the larger part is on the right side. Then you gradually move 3/8 inch away from from the from the crease line. You gradually, then it converge at the center, as in back to that 6 inches depth. So when you get to this point, pivot it and turn your fabric the way I turned mine now. So if you've done that, what you're going to do now is then move up. So if you've finished sewing, this is what you are going to do. So when you finish sewing, you're going to cut it out, and then just cut it straight out. Make sure that when you are doing this, you have your pressing iron handy. Look at it; it's been sewn. So after being sewn, I'm going to carry my scissors and cut it. So when I cut it, you will now be having the left hand side and the right hand side. It will be vivid. So the left hand side is smaller. That is the 1.5 inches that you sewn. So you're going to top stitch that part, because so that you to have a good turning, you're going to be top stitching that part. You top stitch it. That's from my you touched top stitch the red upon the red. So you're not going to top stitch upon the blue. You're going to top stitch upon the red, so that you make sure that the leftover that is at the back, that's the seam that you sew, is going to be towards the red side, the placard side. So you take it to your sewing machine like this and top stitch. So after you finish top stitching, you will only top stitch this part. So when you finish top stitching, you top stitch it up to the neck depth. So when you finish top stitching, you then take the other side, that's the right hand side, and fold it into two equal halves exactly. So when you fold it into two equal halves, take your pressing iron and press it out. Take your pressing iron and press it out. Then and then you tuck it in, you send it in backward. You understand? Send it backward so that the the left hand side will be overlapping the right hand side, just like what I'm doing now. Just send it in. Make sure the left hand side is on top. So this is your placard. So the next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing your finishing. That is, your finishing is going to be your finishing is as simple as top stitching it. But as well, what I later did in this particular video was that the neck, I took care of the neck so that when I'm fixing the collar, it will be easier for me. This is another method also. So what we now did was we kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're yet to subscribe. So for towards the nape of the neck, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn it this way and sew it about half an inch away from the new extended center front. I'm going to sew it half an inch backward. If I've sewn it backward, then if I've sewn it backward, I will take it, after I've sewn it backward, I will carry scissors and cut it the way you're seeing I'm going to be showing you in this video. So after I've taken it backward, after I've sewn it like just so about half an inch, take your scissors and cut it this way so that it will be easier for you to turn. Also, at the tip of that at the tip of the turning, you can also as well cut it so that you will have a sharp point while turning, so you don't have a budgy point while turning. So if you've done this, look at it. So this one is going to be your neck. So this is gradually what you do. You also do that same thing in the other part too. So you see this part now. It's not going to, you're not going to be attaching collar to it. You're only going to be attaching collar to what is left. So you also do this one too this way. That center there, you can cut it out with cut it so that you know the center point. So what I normally do is to notch that point. I'll notch it a bit, then take it to my sewing machine, and I'll as well sew about half an inch away to the edge. I will sew from half an inch to the I measure half an inch this time around. So I sew from that place. I sew it to the edge. Then repeat what I also did in the left hand side, which after you sew it, you cut it so that you cut it. The essence of cutting it is so that you can have a perfect turning. And then you cut it out, cut it across the sewing, but you should make sure that it stop at the sewing point. So if you've done that, you will turn it like you did in the left hand side. If you've done it, this is literally your collar, your placard is already ready. So what you are going to do now is top stitch. So what we are going to take now is make sure that they are of the same side, the left and right side. If they are overlapping, they are equal. So we'll now take it to your sewing machine and top stitch. Follow this method. So for those of you that have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. I shall be releasing more video. Kindly follow. If there's any video you would like us to work on, you can please notify us. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you for staying up to this time. So this is it. I am doing the finishing now. So basically, this is what I did, and I also have other videos that speaks about this. You can watch my other videos about same thing in different method. So this particular one, I just try as much as possible to reach the end in here.